This is your leotard Democrats. This. Huh? Oh, my gosh. Y'all got some explaining to do. Look, deranged Jasmine Crockett asks hearing witness to respond to a series of questions. She starts this little game she calls Trump or Trans, then goes on a tirade about the military parade and Trump golfing. This is the Democrat Party.
So, Miss Goss-Graves, I want to play a game.
Oh, Lord.
It's called Trump or Trans. You ready?
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to tell me whether or not it is Trump or trans people that are responsible. You understand?
Got it.
Okay, very good. The first one, gutted medical research.
Trump.
Kidnapping Americans and sending them to foreign countries, a.k.a. deporting them.
Oh, my gosh.
Trump.
Driving us into a recession.
Trump.
What?
Increasing the cost of everything.
Trump.
Waging an idiotic tariff war.
Trump.
Harming farmers.
Trump.
Ignoring the Constitution.
Trump.
Proposing to take away Social Security.
Trump.
Cutting health care.
Trump.
Firing government workers who keep our country safe.
Trump.
Encouraging an environment of hate and divisiveness.
Trump.
Thank you so much. This committee could be engaged in actual oversight of fraud, waste, abuse, and mismanagement. So let's talk about waste. Like Trump's plan to spend almost $100 million for his little birthday parade. Or how he spent 25% of his first 100 days golfing, costing taxpayers tens of millions of dollars. In fact, it's a little bit over $30 million at our last estimation. And
You spent taxpayer dollars to make that sign. And, I know Trump, he got a little weight on him, but y'all really gonna float. I can see the Photoshop on the stomach.
in fact, President Trump is on pace to spend more than $1 billion of taxpayer dollars just on golfing. Yet the Republicans have been silent. So they must think spending taxpayer dollars on the president's golfing trips is more important than providing health care to their constituents. And when I talk about constituents, we're going to talk about the ones on this committee.
Ooh, I'm allergic. I'm sorry. Excuse me for all the pig noises and everything in advance. I'm just allergic to this BS right now that I'm hearing from her. Just more fear-mongering, and she's still continuing to push these narratives that have been debunked. Oh, Donald Trump is trying to get rid of health care and Medicare. He's not. At all. Saying that he's not, trying to abide by the Constitution or going against the Constitution. But then when he does the interview with, what's her name? Counselor or something like that. And he says that he has to consult with his lawyers and, his team about things within the Constitution before he make a decision. Then you guys out, he don't even know the Constitution. You see that? Look. He's saying, hey, I'm trying to follow the Constitution here. That's the only way we're going to do it. And you go. Then you're saying that he's deporting American citizens, which is literally illegal. That's not possible. That's totally against the Constitution. You can't just deport an American citizen. That's not fathomable. It's a whole, man, just lie after lie after lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. Talking about this man is somehow the one spewing the racial division and the racial divide. He's the one out here, going hard about creating this wedge between, I'll just say it, black and white. And really, that's not the case. When the Democrats are the only ones who introduce identity politics into every single facet of every conversation with them that they have. Oh, man, the sky is blue. Oh, that's racist, man. As a black person, you can't just say the sky is blue around me like that. Are you kidding me? Now, they so petty that my guy Aquarius Wave decided to get petty. He got real petty on that one. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold up, why the video look like that? Why is it all the way to the side? Oh, that's messing up everything. Anywho, let's get what we got from it. Let me bring you out of this screen.
So it looks like our favorite ghetto queen, Jasmine Crockett, a.k.a. the ghetto queen of Congress, was spotted at an airport skipping over folks in wheelchairs.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm that petty. I'm going there. Everything's a story now. You see, the way in which y'all are doing our guy DJT, who represents us because we voted him in, the way y'all are doing him in the propaganda machine is the way we're going to start doing y'all. Petty, petty, petty.
Petty.
That right there is Jasmine Crockett. And she decided that she mattered more than the rest of these folks on Delta Airlines. And she said, well, in my best ghetto queen of Congress voice, "Oh, hell no, not before a black woman." And then she walked her butt all the way in the front. You see those folks back there. And she asserted herself and used her position of power. You know how they like to talk about, people of power, white supremacy. Yeah. Turns out that she has far more power than the folks who are quite literally disabled. That's our queen, I guess. What can we say?
What can we say?
It's our queen.
Oh my gosh. Woo. Out here skipping people in wheelchairs. You just a horrible person. Horrible. Now, if the people, watching this and think that, I'm dead center set on this. Anywho, let me show y'all another moment that happened here. I don't know the name of this hearing. The theme of this hearing, I guess. Let me look that up real quick to see what it's completely. I know some of the topics is sent around, but major retailer Greene embarrasses Rep. Jasmine in front of everybody. Ooh.
Point of order. Out of curiosity, is the chairwoman allowed to editorialize before every speaker on the Democratic side speaks, or is that part of her time, which we know that she went over?
It's not a point of order. You're taking Ms. Stansberry's time. I know you're trying to be chair of oversight, but Ms. Stansberry is the ranking member.
Chair would be better on this side. I do agree with that.
It's Ms. Stansberry's time.
Point of order.
Whoop. Yeah. In other words, she see what you was trying to do. Now, let's go ahead and get to this right here. They calling her D.I. Crockett, y'all.
Thank you so much to my amazing colleague from the great state of California.
Wow, yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's not pausing at all. But they call her D.I. Jasmine Crockett, and she went on this 5-minute racist rant where she calls for benefits, education, and funding to be provided based on skin color. But Donald Trump is the one that's, fueling the hatred and divisiveness in America. That was her.
I have to do a little. Thank you so much to my amazing colleague from the great state of California. Mr. Speaker, I rise today with a simple but clear message. First of all, I just got to clear up a few things.
Oh, Lord.
Instead of the president cosplaying as the next pope, he may want to try to cosplay as an actual president of these United States. That means that he may have to do a little bit of research and decide that he wants to understand that he swore an oath. And this oath was to protect and defend the Constitution. That is the oath that he was supposedly taking on January 20th, as well as we may want the president to look into what the Declaration of Independence was about. We may want him to understand that there was a foundational document as relates to self-determination of those who had recently gained their independence from Great Britain. I would hope that he would maybe spend a few of these days in this first 100 days, and it is sad to say that it's his second term, that he doesn't understand that the Declaration of Independence is about this idea that we are entitled to the right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that's all of us that are here. But let's go through some of the things that he did manage to do and some of the havoc that he has managed to wreak. In the first 100 days of Trump administration, we have had to, unfortunately, endure a lot of pain. This administration clearly is not ready to lead. They are only here to tear down. In just 100 days, we've witnessed an administration hell-bent on dismantling the very systems designed to protect the most vulnerable amongst us. And for Black Americans, those of us who have always carried the weight of a broken system and bad policies, the danger is real, it's tangible, and it is urgent. Let me be clear, the last 100 days have not been an accident or a fluke. He has done exactly what he said he was going to do. He gave us the blueprint in Project 2025. Some tried to warn us of the dangers, and well, here we are. Let's talk about education. Within weeks of taking office, the Department of Education quietly rescinded guidance encouraging schools to teach honest, inclusive Black history. Instead, they're attempting to whitewash history and have begun promoting so-called patriotic education, a sanitized version of history that skips over slavery, Jim Crow, redlining, and systemic racism. He signed an executive order reinstating, quote, common sense discipline practices in school, rolling back previous administrations' attempts to address racial disparities in school discipline practices. Make no mistake, these decisions have a direct impact on Black children, children who deserve a fair shot to learn in safe and supportive environments. Let's talk about housing. HUD announced plans to gut fair.
Now I'm going to have to refresh this real quick. She was at 3 minutes and 10 seconds. For whatever reason, it wasn't allowing me to pause it. I guess that would be a good thing for a lot of y'all. Like, oh my gosh. Hold on.
Systems designed to protect the most vulnerable among.
I'm sorry, excuse me. 310. Boom. This lion is just
Learn in safe and supportive environments. Let's talk about housing. HUD announced plans to gut fair housing rules meant to fight discrimination. You know, the same ones that he violated back when he was a landlord so many years ago. Yeah, those same.
I'm so tired of all of these little insertions, you know, just to try to sensationalize everything. Like, this is the reason why Democrats continue to fail. It's like, hey, just plead your case. But your case has to be, you plead your case all the time with nothing but shots being fired. And it's like, come on, man. Either you bigot, you have to be somewhat more intelligent than that. You are definitely, pushing more Black people away than you are attracting. Trust me.
Rules that were supposed to fight discrimination in lending and zoning. This means there will be even more roadblocks for Black families trying to buy a home and yet another generation locked out of building wealth. Let's talk about public safety. While they're cutting after-school programs and community violence prevention, they are pouring millions of dollars into militarizing police departments. They're criminalizing our communities while stripping away the very resources that keep us safe. And finally, money talks. So let's talk money. This administration slashed funding of 7 government agencies that provide Black communities with educational materials and economic opportunities, including the Minority Business Development Agency, the only federal agency dedicated to uplifting minority businesses. This agency helps entrepreneurs all across the country, including in my own district, keep their doors open and their workers employed. Now, it's under attack. And while all of this is happening, they're dismantling environmental protections and environmental justice, slashing funding for HBCUs, and rolling back civil rights enforcement across federal agencies. Let me repeat what that means. To roll back civil rights enforcement across federal agencies. This is the so-called DEI attacks that we continue to endure in this country. This is their way of trying to roll back the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that so many died and bled for. Mr. Speaker, this is not just about policy disagreement. This is about direct attacks on Black futures, Black prosperity, and Black freedom. This is about right versus wrong, point blank. But here's what they don't understand. We've seen this playbook, and every time they've attempted to silence us, erase us, and hold us down, we've resisted and we've pushed this country closer to the ideals it claims to hold. They are trying to bury us, but what they don't realize is that we are seeds and still we rise. I stand here a proud Black woman and a proud member of the Congressional Black Caucus, and I refuse to stand by while this administration.
Okay, stop. I can't take the last 20 seconds. This is torturous. Just continuing to sell victimhood to us. That's the only tactic that you have. I'm a Black woman. This guy's over here trying to take away your civil rights. He's taking away health care. He's deporting American citizens. Lying about, inflation and things of that nature. I just looked at the gas prices over here, bro. I think I'm not going to lie. I seen, $2.83 for unleaded? Something like that over here. And I'm sitting back going, wow, like, That's amazing. And then I hear the radio and they, oh, gas prices are up and inflate. I'm like, man, but my milk is cheaper. My eggs are cheap. I ain't saying everything is cheaper, and I'm not saying that other things haven't gone up. But like, come on, yo. MAGA 1775 as victimhood Crockett, your claim that this is about black futures being attacked. Let me say this loud and clear. America's future is red, white, and blue for all Americans, not carved up by color, class, or grievances group, for sure. Okay, that we already seen this. Now, Lower Luma adds something very spicy to this situation in terms of Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett seems to be in the news every single week because she is making very derogatory and violent comments towards Republicans. She made a comment the other day while she was speaking at I think she was a commencement speaker. I mean, it's quite shocking that she's giving this type of talk at a commencement speech. And you can see that Benny Thompson is sitting behind her. Of course, he was one of the main members of the J6 committee, sitting right behind her there while she gives that talk. But Jasmine Crockett talking about how you need to use a chair to physically throw at your Republican haters. I mean, this is incitement to violence. Let's go ahead and play the clip.
There are going to be people that tell you that you don't belong, and I am here to tell you over and over and over that you absolutely belong. There are people that are going to tell you that there is not a table in which there is a seat for you, but I am here to remind you of Montgomery and those folding chairs. Let me tell you that we know how to use a chair, whether we pulling it up or we doing something else with it. Let me be the first one to tell you that
Imagine Donald Trump or somebody white saying this.
I know that y'all are ready to put your boots on the ground. That's your cue. There we go. Hey!
You ready? Where them fans at? Where them fans?
Just so ghetto. I just can't believe that she's an actual member of Congress.
Agreed. Jasmine Crockett, she's definitely doing more harm than good for the Democrat Party right now. I say keep going for it. What about y'all? Somebody asked, we have a worthless pile of trash as our Attorney General, and a corrupt douchebag as our FBI Director. Jasmine is safe. How much longer do we have to put these radical American-hating hacks away? Maybe Americans by the millions should pay. I'm not going to say that sentence. When will I'll just say this. If this is the best y'all got, Democrats, hey, good luck. Be safe. Keep God first. Please, go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.